All right, class, hello, and I apologize for my absence last week. I was sick and I didn't really have a voice, so I couldn't sustain a lecture for more than a few minutes. So Zoom wasn't really the best platform for that. But what we're going to do this week, we're getting started on our next unit. Now it's called SA1. It's called SA1 because despite the fact we've been working on this memo, it really is the first extended academic essay that we're going to do. So these essays are essentially all going to fall within the same style. So they're 3 to 5 page essays. We will write 3 of them, and this one is called taking a position. And the thing that you're taking a position on is some event from human history. And so part of this process is going to involve me really trying to explain and contextualize what it is I mean by that. So just as an example, in the Unit 5 folder this week, or the Week 5 folder, I have some resources that I shared that you're going to review. One of them is a film about cave art. So this is art in these Lascaux caves in France, and it's really iconic art. You've probably seen pictures of it before. And it's just sort of used, like you might be looking at an art history book, and it's going to talk about the origins of art, and this is going to identify that as at this early stage in human history, people were drawing on these paintings, and it'll offer some theories as to what the meaning of the individual paintings are. They are from around 17,000 years ago, so we're talking about really deep in human history. Okay, so an essay might offer an overview of that, but it needs to go a bit further to isolate some aspect of that work that you can explore in more depth. So, for example, you might talk about the process that they used to make that art. You might talk about some of the evidence of material culture that was there, such as the lamps that they used in order to do that. And the whole point is that you're looking at something in history that we can connect with, that still resonates with us today. So in the film, it talks about how they didn't necessarily paint just the animals that were the most common to them. They weren't just painting their food sources, for example, but animals that they may have seen more rarely. So this is art at a level of abstraction that's often thought about as occurring in later periods. With the original theories on this art was that it had a kind of practical purpose. They were just painting what they saw. But there certainly seems to be more to it than that, it connects with myth and ritual on a level that we're still kind of beginning to understand. So you take anything in history, and it can be something more modern too, like the telegraph, for example, and you talk about some specific aspect of that. And this is kind of an attempt at sort of a deep dive into one aspect of a topic. So it's not just a general overview of World War II or the pyramids or Stonehenge, but for Stonehenge, you're looking at where the stones came from, the similarities of that monument to some other monuments in like the Orkney Islands or something like that. For World War II, you're not looking at just the war as a whole. You're profiling one person or one event with the goal of teaching us about their role and their significance within that larger topic. So so it's a topic selection is a big part of this project, and it is really going to ask you to be creative and to put some research into it. So research will be a big part of this project. And again, it's going to be 3 to 5 pages, and the essay should be double spaced, and we'll use sources as well. So around 3 sources. We're going to cite an MLA for this one. So so we'll be learning a new citation style, and from this point on, you will be able to choose whether you're going to write in APA or MLA. It's going to be up to you which one of those that you want to use. Okay, so what I'll do now is talk a little bit more about the week. So so we have a film here, The Prehistory of Art. I showed part of this film in my on-campus classes. Obviously, this isn't the forum to do that, but I will have an activity that I'm going to have you do that's going to be based on this film. So as soon as I process the Zoom lecture, you're then going to I'm going to ask you to watch that film and participate in that discussion activity. So that will be what we work on today. On Wednesday, we're going to look at this article on prehistoric wine. And, you know, again, some of the sources here are going way deep into history to take something that we associate maybe more with the classical period or the modern world, and talk about its role kind of for earlier societies and in earlier cultures. And the thing that I want you to get from this source when you do read it for Wednesday is to look at how this particular source uses information, how it incorporates other work, other publications into its presentation of events. So it's not going to have the depth of a scholarly article. It's going to reference some scholarly studies, but what it's trying to do is to synthesize that information for a general audience. And that's the same kind of process that I'm going to want you to follow for this next essay assignment. Okay, so so that, you know, that's kind of an overview of what we're doing in terms of coursework this week. I did extend the deadline for the memo just because I lost a lot of time last week when I was ill on the feedback. So so I'm wrapping that up, and you'll have that, and then you'll want to submit the draft of your memo by Sunday evening. So that is you know, pretty much all I have for today, because again, my campus sections were busy watching this film, but I will get that discussion board assignment based on the film up for us this morning, along with the YouTube recording about this. I'll also have a sample of that memo, and we will sorry, a sample of the next essay, a sample of the essay 1 assignment, so you can see how one of your classmates undertook this assignment and the kinds of things that they did. So I'll have that up this week as well. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording portion of this, but I will stay on if anyone has any questions or anything, or if some classmates hop in late. Just feel free to use you can use the chat feature for that. All right, so thank you. I'll see you all on Wednesday.